Hi, welcome back to Kitty's channel. I wanted to show you how I cooked up my beef tenderloin, but with the party being so busy and I was running around trying to make sure everyone was having a good time and I kept the food, everything going, I did not have time to keep taking video of the beef tenderloin on the smoker. So what I did is I took the beef tenderloin, as you saw, I sprinkled it with kosher salt and some black pepper, crushed black pepper, let it sit till it got to room temperature. And then I went ahead and I butcher twined the pieces that are skinnier at the bottoms and made it so it was even for thickness throughout the entire beef tenderloin. I also then went ahead and put it on the smoker at a temperature of 250 degrees and let it cook until the temperature read 145 degrees internally. So then I went ahead, pulled it off, I wrapped it in tin foil. This took about 3 hours to get that internal temp, and that's about a medium rare. So I went ahead and wrapped it in tin foil. It sat/rested for 30 minutes, and then we went ahead and cut it up, and you'll get to see that. So really letting it rest is letting the juices kind of absorb in there. And yes, that heat is still there, so it does continue to cook a little bit afterwards, but it was a beautiful pink. It turned out great. I also like to do the touch test where you take the tongs and you kind of poke the meat and you just kind of get a good sense of where you're at for tenderness. Okay, if it's really squishy, you know it's a little bit rarer than you may want it. So I do let it get a little bit more firm. We'll talk about that in another video, how I do that off of touching the meat, but otherwise I go off of the temperature. So 145, pulled it off, wrapped it in the tin foil, let it sit for a good 30 minutes as a rest, and then we sliced it up and enjoyed. More smoking meats to come. I'm sorry I didn't get to show you this step by step, but you get to see a good portion of it, and the biggest piece of it is making sure that you make your roast or tenderloin as even as possible for thickness, cooking it at a 250. Thank you and happy holidays. Merry Christmas. All right, we got our beef tenderloins cut up, big roast. They're ready to go on the grill. We'll get them smoking for Christmas dinner. Delicious. Right now they're just sitting to get to room temperature with some salt and pepper on them. That's the only seasoning I use on my steak. And then they'll go on that smoker, and that smoke's gonna take to it very nicely. Okay, so we have the beef tenderloin, and we're wrapping it so it's more even. And I have a couple that I'm wrapping fatter to make it so it's nice and pink for me, because I like nice rare color. And this is gonna go on the grill. It's my chef grill, so smoker, and it's gonna taste delicious. Oh yeah, these guys are gonna get good. All right, awesome. Let's get those big guys going. Smaller chunks later.
Miles, does it smell good out there? It smells so good.
So in like an hour, I'll put these other chunks on.
Yeah.
They've been resting. These are beef tenderloin for the night. Look at this. We're gonna have enough for everyone.
It's very tender. Grandma's shutting it.
Look at that perfect smoke range.
Ooh, our chicken is tender too.
We have to cut off the string here.
Our chicken.
Yes. Okay.
Look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god, look how beautiful. That is just beautiful.
Julia.